All right, hello friends. It looks like we are live and ready to start. So we're having some weather tonight, and just playing with the lights a little bit. So if you are ready to get started, let's go. What do we want to start with? Let's start seated. We're going to start with our mudra first. So coming to a comfortable seated position. That can be on the floor or on a chair. I put a chair out. However that looks for you. If you have access to a blanket or blocks, you can sit up on something like that. Give the hips a little softening here, kind of like that. So when the hips are higher, then the knees can be a little bit or the hips are a little bit more open, so the knees can fall a little lower if that's comfortable. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to do our Bhu mudra. It's BHU mudra. So we're going to take our pinky and ring finger underneath the thumb. So we're going to tuck them into the palm and then rest the thumb over them. And then the index and the middle finger are open, like our victory or peace sign. And we're just going to bring the fingers down to touch the earth or the floor. If you're in a chair, you can do the edges of the chair. So what we're doing is kind of like a seated mountain here. And let's just take a moment to be in this position. So letting go of thinking, wondering, and just be here for this moment. And when you're ready, let's take a couple breaths here. And then check in with the body. Notice where you're holding on to tension. If you need to release it anytime, you can do that. Rest your hands on your thighs. And then let's start our practice here. So I'm going to do some moving and some breathing and some yoga here. So the first thing we want to do is let's come in. So we want to prepare the body. We want to get the spine mobile so that we can do some twisting and maybe some backbendy kind of things. So twisting and backbends and maybe a combination of the two together. So, but what we want to do is we want to have that fluidity in the spine. So let's start with our cat and cow. And if you are seated cross-legged, bring your hands in front of the knees. If your legs are out straight, you can bring your hands under the thighs. Same in the chair, hands under the thighs. All right, so let's start with an exhale. We're going to exhale and curve back a little bit. Tuck the chin down. On the inhale, we're going to come forward, looking up. Exhale back. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cow. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cow. Excellent. And then come back to that neutral spine. So let's come and let's go into our laterals. So that's the side we want to open up. In between the ribs, we have these muscles in there that if we don't move them, they kind of shrink and get tighter. So that's what we're going to do next. So I am a little close in this corner. I'm going to come forward. So oops, love that. All right. So there we go. All All right, and if you want, you can switch which legs in front. So if you don't have blocks at home, that's okay. You don't actually have to use them. But what I like the blocks for is to increase the length in the body. So I'm not just kind of slumped down there, sitting up nice and tall. So I'm going to start with the first side, hand on the block. Inhale. Exhale, bring it back. Inhale, second side. Exhale, bring it back. Inhale. And exhale. Very nice. And finish on that side. And then we're going to add a nice breath here. So we'll inhale that arm up. Exhale, bring it over towards the side. Inhale, pull back up. Exhale, release. Second side, inhale. And exhale over. Inhale, vertical. Exhale, release. Excellent. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Beautiful. Let's do one more style of that. So we're just going to go up and over with one breath, and then all the way back with the exhale. So here we go. Inhale all the way over. Exhale all the way back. Nice and slow. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And last time, last side. Inhale. And exhale. Beautiful. All right. So our last little movement here with the spine is our third half of the back. So inhale, lift. On the exhale, I'm going to my left. Pick a side, as long as you do both sides evenly, doesn't matter. Inhale, center. Exhale, second side. Inhale, center. Exhale, first side. Inhale, center. Exhale. Inhale. And let's go one more time each side. Inhale. Exhale into twist. Inhale, center. Exhale, second side. Inhale, back to center. All right, so next thing we're going to do is come back to symmetrical before we come into something else. So let's start with an exhale here into our cat. Inhale, rounding up, looking up, cow. Sorry. Exhale, cat. Inhale, cat. Excellent. Back to center. And then let's see what we're going to do next here. I know what we're going to do next here. Okay, so let's bring both legs straight out in front. Pound the legs into the mat, wake them up a little bit. That feels good. And then we're going to come in, we're going to do another twist here. And I'm coming down off the blanket to come into this. So we're going to start with both legs straight out in front. And then we're going to bring both legs over to one side. So I'm going to go feet to my left. You can go same as me or opposite if you want to do the mirror. So we'll start with both feet over. So my left foot is by my left hip, right foot in front of my left knee. And then we're going to come into our deer pose. We're going to inhale, lift. Exhale, I'm going to twist to the right first. Inhale, back to center. And then just for fun, we can twist to the left. See how that feels? Might feel a little awkward, like you're losing your balance a little bit. That's okay. Inhale, back to center. We're going to go back to the right. And then take a full breath here. And then coming back to center. Now let's go to the other side. So we'll bring both feet out in front. And then let's bring them over towards the other side. So that's my right foot on my right hip. Left foot in front of my right knee. So if you did the opposite, just switch. Okay. So inhale, lift. First time we're going to go to the left. Exhale to the left. Inhale back to center. And then we'll go to the right. That's our exhale. Inhale back to center. And then let's go first side again. Exhale to the left. And let's take a full breath here. And then when you're ready, back to center. And then release. That was awesome. Okay, so let's bring both legs back out in front again. And let's move the feet a little bit here. So we'll start with extending. So I want to sit kind of at a 90-degree angle here. Just a little bit. There you go. I don't know if that's worse or not. So my feet are about hip width distance apart here. That doesn't matter that much. It's just a little bit more balanced than if they're together. It might be a little wobbly. But you figure out what works for you. That's fine. So we're going to start by extending the heels away from the torso. So I have this nice 90-degree angle here. Pushing the heels away, a little softness in the knees. And then point and flex. Excellent. And then let me give you the breath with that. That's our inhale, pointing. Exhale, flex. And your feet might not go that flat, and that's okay. You probably shouldn't. Just wherever's comfortable without giving yourself a Charlie horse. There's some people who can get those pretty easily. So if this is something that does that, then skip it. All right. Next thing I want you to do is, if you'd like, bring the soles of the feet in towards the center line. So it might be hard to do both at the same time, so you can do one at a time. And then we're going to reverse that direction so that the toe, the pinky toe, comes towards the shoulder. The big toe goes away. So we're getting into those ankles. Excellent. And then let's make some circles with the ankles. You can do one at a time or at the same time, same direction, opposite directions. Movement. Motion is the lotion. So whatever feels good. One at a time if you want, or together. All right, and then let's finish this up with windshield wipers. Very nice, and release that. Okay, check them out. Woo-hoo. All right, so the next thing we're gonna do is a little bit more of a twist here. So let's bring this first side into the mat. So I have, this is my right foot into the mat with my right knee bent. Left foot is extended, toes point up towards the ceiling. If you want to switch, that's totally fine. Just do both sides. So I'm kind of slumping down here. I'll sit up nice and tall. And the first thing I'm going to do is inhale this left arm up. I'm going to take my right hand behind the spine. And then on the exhale, either on the outside of that right leg or around in front, coming up into the spine. And then on an exhale, I'm going to turn my gaze towards the back wall. So chin comes around towards that right shoulder, and it may not get all the way there, and that's okay. Take 2 breaths here. Excellent. And then back to center. Unwind. Let's switch legs. And then we're going to inhale this right arm up, either on the outside or in front of that left leg. Right leg is engaged, toes pointed up. Inhale, lift. Exhale, turn in, looking towards that back wall. Chin comes towards that left shoulder. Excellent. And then 2 breaths here. And then release, back to center. All right, let's bring both feet out in front, soles of the feet together. And we're going to kind of sit up on the sit bones. And we're going to come into a forward fold here. So I have my hands near my ankles, wherever they reach for you, elbows towards the knees. I'm going to inhale, lift up with the spine, exhale, forward fold. And just going as far as is comfortable. You don't have to go very far. And take 2 or 3 breaths here. When you're ready, you can do one of 2 things. You can come up out of this, or if you want to come deeper into this fold, maybe you can reach the feet and exhale, coming into the fold a little deeper. And when you're ready to come out, we're going to inhale and walk the hands up the legs. Then we're going to bring the hands under the knees, soles of the feet into the floor. Wrap the arms around, drop the chin, and rock side to side. Excellent. All right, so let's come and we're going to come up to our, we're going to do wide-legged forward fold first. All right. So legs come out as wide as comfortable. They don't have to be this wide. They can be in closer, maybe the width of your mat if that works for you. So the first thing I want to do is come back to alignment. So when I got into this, I kind of moved a little bit. So I want to bring my hands here by the hips. Actually, I'm going to come up on my fists, come up and back down on the sit bones. So it's a little bit more grounding, and I have a lot better alignment, maybe from that to that. Beautiful. All right, so let's do a couple of forward folds here. First, we're going to go center. Inhale, lift. Exhale, forward fold. And again, just as far as is comfortable. And let's take 3 breaths here. Each time we inhale, come up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, lift. Exhale, fold. One more time, inhale. On this exhale, fold forward and just release, just going down as far as is comfortable. And then when you're ready to come out, we're going to inhale, lifting the torso, walking the hands back. All right, let's go side to side with our fold. So we'll go right first. If you want to mirror, then that would be your left. All right. So I'm going to inhale the arms up, turn the torso towards that right leg. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. And then extend the arms out. Inhale, push in with that leg. Come back to center. Exhale, and release. All right, let's do the other side. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, torso towards that left leg. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, extend the arms. Inhale, push in with that leg. Coming back to center. Exhale, and release. Beautiful. All right, what's next? Let's go up to hands and knees. All right, so let's come in, bring the legs back together, and then come up onto our hands and knees. All right, so let's start with, so we've switched from seated to kneeling, or hands and knees. So let's do our cat and cow here. So we're going to start with our cat. Exhale, round the spine up. So we're creating a half circle going up. And then we're going to inhale and create that other half of the circle. I want to lead with the collarbones here, looking up towards the horizon, if that's okay with your neck. Exhale, back to cat. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Excellent. From here, let's come into we're going to come into puppy pose. So we're going to come down onto the forearms. Hips are going to stay up, and then bringing the forehead down to the mat. So we'll just pause here for a breath or two. And then when you're ready, let's come back up to that tabletop. And we'll do our next, we'll do our lateral. So we're going to come and bring this right hand over towards the left and turn and look at that left foot. And we're going to breathe this time into that lower right rib cage. 3 or 4 breaths here. Excellent. When you're ready, we'll walk that right hand back. And let's bring the left hand over. Turning and looking at that right foot. 3 or 4 breaths into that left lower rib cage. Beautiful. When you're ready, let's walk that left hand back. And let's come into, we're going to do the closed twist, and we're going to do the open twist for our twisty thunderstorm night here. So let's start with the closed twist, which is our thread the needle, or one of couple of different poses that people call thread the needle. This is the one that I usually call thread the needle. So, all right, let's start. So we're going to start, leave this left hand on the floor. We're going to inhale, bring this right arm up towards the ceiling. Exhale, right arm comes under the left, coming down to the right shoulder, right side of the head. And let's do this dynamically here. So push back in. We're going to inhale this arm up. Exhale, back under. Beautiful. And one more time. Inhale, arm comes up. Exhale, back under. And then inhale the arm all the way up. Exhale, back down to the floor. Beautiful. All right, let's do the other side. Inhale. Exhale, thread the arm under. And then inhale, push in with that right arm, left arm comes up. Exhale. And one more time, inhale. And exhale. Beautiful. Inhale, that arm comes all the way up. Exhale, back down to the floor. Beautiful. All right, so let's do our closed, sorry, that was our closed twist. Let's do our open twist. So that's our gate pose. So the first one we'll do a low gate pose. And I'll get stuff in the way here. All right. So right leg comes out to the side. Left hand stays on the floor. On an inhale, let's bring this right arm up towards the ceiling. Beautiful. Bring that right hand down. We're going to switch sides. Tuck that right knee under. Out of the way. Left leg comes out. And then on an inhale, let's bring this left arm up. Excellent. Left arm comes down. Tuck that left knee under. And then let's come up to our high kneel. So we'll turn sideways a little bit here. And we'll bring this right, we'll start with the left foot. And actually, if you have a block and you want to use your block to switch sides, you can do that. If you don't worry about it. You don't necessarily have to have one. All right, so we'll start with this left foot out. Left hand can be on that left hip or down that left leg. You're going to inhale this right arm up. On the exhale, right arm comes over towards that left foot. And then inhale, coming up. Exhale, release. You can use your block to switch sides or just switch sides, hands on the hips. Right hand can be on that right hip or down that right leg. Inhale, lift this left arm up. On the exhale, left hand comes over towards that right. Exhale. All right, let's come back down to hands and knees. And we're going to come into our cat and cow for coming back to symmetrical. All right, so let's start with our cat. Exhale. Tuck the chin around that upper circle. Inhale, lead with the collarbones, looking up towards the horizon. That's our cow. Exhale, cat. Inhale. Beautiful. And then back to a neutral spine. From here, let's come and let's see. All right. Let's come up to a lunge. All right. So if you have blocks, great, you can use them. If you don't have them, you can do this without the blocks. We'll warm up our lunge, and then we will come up to triangle from the low lunge, from the low lunge, which is not everybody's favorite, but it's a great way to get there. That's not too wonky. Okay, so for our lunge, if you have blocks, 3 fingers in front, thumb and pinky on the side. And then if you can get your legs straight in between the blocks, that's great. If not, bring both blocks to one side and swing it around. And then center that foot in front of the hip. All right. Or just bring it through, whichever way. All right, so let's do all of the things we like to do with our lunges. So the first thing we're going to do is bring the hips down towards the floor. Nice. And then come back up. And then we're going to come up higher with this. So we'll come hands onto that right leg. Pause here, or the next level up is arms up. And we haven't done a lot of back bendy kind of things, but if you're feeling like you want to, looking up towards the ceiling, that's going to give you a little bit of a back bend. If you've got your balance and you want to go a little further, you can do that whenever you're ready. Coming back to that leg, back to the blocks, and then let's switch sides. All right, first thing, hips down towards the floor. And then come back up. Hands to that thigh. And then one more, arms up. Nice. And then if you want to do a little back bend here, looking up towards the ceiling, or bringing the arms back further, whatever's up, whatever works for you. And then we'll bring the hands back down, nice and slow. Hands come back down to the block, and then we'll tuck that left knee under. Now we're going to come up to our triangle pose. So bringing that first foot forward again. We're going to curl the toes of that back foot. You see why we had to warm up the feet, right? And then on an inhale, we're going to lift the hips up. So you can probably see that back foot okay. We're going to pivot that back foot so that the heel comes down to the floor. And you can adjust it. You can bring it in closer or step it back. And then to come up into our triangle, we're going to leave this right hand on the block, or if you're on the floor, that's fine too. You can even have your leg or your hand on your leg. Just don't push on that knee. And let's bring this left arm up towards the ceiling. So we have a triangle here. That front leg can have a little soft bend in it, so we're not hyperextending it. Excellent. And then take a breath or two. Bring that left hand down. Pivot that back foot, and then let's come back down on that left knee. Release the foot, and let's switch legs. So we'll bring that other foot forward. Curl the toes of the back foot. On an inhale, we're going to lift the hips up, and then pivot that back foot so that right heel comes down to the floor. When you're ready, on an inhale, lifting this right arm up towards the ceiling, keeping a little softness in that front knee. And then when you're ready, bringing that right arm down, pivot the back foot, and then come down to the knee. And then we'll come down to the other knee. So I don't have anybody here with me tonight to tell me that they don't want to do this one. So we're going to do a camel pose. If you don't want to, that's okay. You can come into a puppy pose, a down dog, something that's not a backbend, if you would prefer. Or even child's pose, or put your legs up the wall for a bit while we do this. Okay, so if you have your blocks, we're going to bring them back by the ankles. And we're just going to do baby camel. We'll do that. So if you can go all the way into a camel, that's up to you if you want to do that. We're just going to do little steps towards it. So we're not going to go two-humped camel. All right, we'll just do baby camel. All right, so to start, we're going to bring the hands to that lower back, or the back of the hips up there. Right up there. Okay. So bringing the elbows towards each other as far as is comfortable. And we're just going to move here with the breath and use our gaze. So we're starting looking straight ahead. We're going to inhale and exhale. On your next inhale, the gaze is going to go up towards the ceiling. Exhale, bring it back. All right, next time, your choice. You can come to one block, you can come to 2 blocks, or you can go down to your heels if you can reach. I'm going to do one arm at a time and then both to the blocks, and we'll see where we go from there. You can stay in the baby camel, just looking up towards the ceiling, as long as that's comfortable. If that's too much, at any time, come down into a child's pose, because that's what we're going to do after this. All right, here we go. So we're going to inhale. I'm going to go with my right arm first. Inhale, looking up, and then bringing this right arm down. And then exhale back to center. Inhale, looking up. Bringing that left arm down. Exhale, bring it back. And this time I'm going to do both arms, but I'm still going to do one at a time. All right, here we go. Inhale, looking up. And exhale back. Actually, that should be an inhale back. All right, I'm going to go one more time, and I'm going to attempt the heels. So if that's too far, stick with the blocks, or stick up here, or child's pose, whichever works for you. All right, here we go. So this is inhale here, exhale looking up, and then coming down to the heels. Inhale, coming back up, and then coming into child's pose. Take 1 or 2 more breaths here. And then whenever you're ready to come out, let's come into Hero Pose, if you can. So that is, so if you're in Child's Pose and you're sitting like this, if that's uncomfortable on your knees, but you still can do it, you can come and sit on a blanket. That gives you a little bit more space in the knees so they're not too constricted, if that works. So just take a breath or two here. If this is way too uncomfortable, come up to, or come over onto one side or the other. And then from here, we're going to come up to standing from here. We'll make our way up slowly. All right. So from here, if you have a blanket under, move it out of the way. You're going to come up to hands and knees. Curl the toes. Let's come into downward facing dog. On an inhale, take a moment if you'd like and walk your dog. Push in with the hands, straighten the knees-ish, not all the way. And then you can look up at the hands and walk the feet up, or walk the hands back to the feet. And take a moment here in your forward fold. Let the head be heavy. You can shake it yes and no. Grab opposite elbows if you like that. Bend the knees, nice and deep, arms out to the side, push in with the feet. Inhale, bring all the way up, hands together, exhale, hands to heart. All right. So let's do a little with our standing here. So the first thing I want to do is come into, so we're kind of doing a little bit of standing back bend. So let's do our cat and cow, and then we'll do half moon, half sun. We'll do those 3 in that order. All right, so what did I say first? Cat and cow. All right, hands on the front of the thighs. Tuck the chin, round the shoulders forward. That's our exhale. Inhale, rounding up, looking up. Exhale, bring it back. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Very nice. And release. All right, half moon salutation. Okay, so we're going to go side to side, far enough away from the window. I'll come back. That works. All right, so my feet are a little bit wider because I'm going to be going side to side. So let's start with our ball here, ball of light, of energy. Imagine a beach ball, a baseball, softball, whatever round object works for you. Usually I think about the moon because it's a half moon salutation. All right, so we're going to take this little image here. Inhale, bring it up. On the exhale, we're going to bring it over towards the left. Inhale, center. Exhale, right. Inhale, center. Exhale, left. Inhale, center. Exhale, right. Inhale, center. We're going to go one more time each side. Exhale to the left. And then we're going to drop that left arm down, that left side. Inhale, bring it back up. Exhale, right arm comes all the way down. Inhale, bring it back up. And now we're going to do our little back bend here. We're going to inhale. On the exhale, bring it back. Inhale, back up. Exhale and release. Nice. All right, next one is half Sun Salutation. All right, so let's do arms out to the side one. Start with hands at the heart. Inhale, hands come down, arms come up. Exhale, arms out to the side, swan dive, hinge at the hips. Forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. The hands can come to the front of the legs. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, arms out to the side, push in with the feet. Inhale, all the way up, palms together. Exhale, hands to heart. Let's do two more. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, arms out to the side, push in over the feet. All the way up, palms together. Exhale, hands to heart. One last time. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale. Arms all the way up, palms together. Exhale, hands to heart. Beautiful. All right, so let's see. One more thing up top here, and then we will make our way back down to the floor. So it's thunderstorm night, so we are going to do chair pose, which is actually Thunderbolt Pose in some translations. So that's what we're going to do. So bring the feet so the toes are touching, hip width distance apart, wider, whatever works for you. So on an inhale, and lift the arms up. On the exhale, come into that thunderbolt. Sorry. Exhale, forward fold. Let's do that a couple times. Inhale, coming back up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale. And exhale. One more inhale. And exhale. Excellent. Arms up to the side and all the way up. And release. Excellent. All right. So we're going to come down to the floor and let's come down to the belly and we'll do a little bit more. We'll do our Sphinx Pose and we'll see what else. All right. So hands and knees. Down to the belly. Beautiful. All right, Sphinx Pose. Just gonna tilt this just a little bit. Okay, sorry. All right, back to Sphinx Pose. All right, elbow is under the shoulder. Here we go. Tops of the feet flat on the floor if possible. Fingers open in our sea stars, starfish. And let's do a couple breaths here. So we're going to inhale. Exhale, look towards the left. Inhale, center. Exhale, right. Inhale, center. Exhale, left. Inhale, center, exhale, right. Inhale, center, one more time each side. Exhale, left. Inhale, center, exhale, right. Beautiful. Inhale, back to center, and then we're going to release this with our alligator pose. Elbows come out, stack the hands, and then rest the forehead on the hands. Beautiful. When you're ready, let's come into a baby cobra. So we're going to bring the hands under the shoulders. On an inhale, we're going to lift from the back of the neck, keeping the chin tucked. And this is baby cobra, so we're only going as little as you want. When you get to your maximum, we're going to turn and look out. And then on an exhale, tuck the chin back down. Release the forehead back to the floor. 2 more. Inhale, lift. Look forward. Exhale, tuck, and release back down. Last one, inhale. And exhale. Beautiful. Back to alligator pose. And then, when you're ready, we're going to come into bow pose. So this is my favorite for tight quads, so the top of the thighs. We're going to bend at the knees, and we're going to do one leg at a time. So we'll start with the right leg. You can grab that foot, then gently bring the heel towards the torso, and then release to the other side. And release. So we'll try both feet. So this might be your pose here, if you can reach your feet. If not, just extend the arms back and then the heels towards the buttocks. If you can reach your feet and you have your feet in your hands, and you want to go one more level, we're going to push the feet into the hands and come up onto the belly. Beautiful. Exhale, release, or inhale if you need to. And one more time to alligator pose. Excellent. And then from here, we're going to come over onto the belly. Or sorry, we were on the belly. We're going to come over onto the back. So you can caterpillar rolling over, or sit up and then bring your feet to the top of the mat, hands on the knees, rolling back onto the back. And let's do a couple of asanas to come back to a symmetrical spine here. So, because we just did a couple of back bends, so now we want this back to neutral. All right, so hands on the knees, feet pointing up towards the ceiling. Exhale, knees come in. Inhale, release, or hands down where the thigh meets the hip. Exhale, and slide up. Inhale, and slide down. So you get the same movement either way. And then the other one I would encourage, if you like, is knees out wider. That might give you a little bit more space in that lumbar region, the lower back, in the back of the neck. Excellent. And then let's bring the feet down to the mat. And let's come into a little bit of a twist here. So arms out to the side in T formation. And let's start with just a gentle back and forth with windshield wipers. So my feet are wider out than my hips, kind of not quite as wide as the mat. And just gently, both knees go towards one side, a couple of inches. We're not going all the way down to the floor. Inhale, center, exhale, other side. Couple of times each side. then let's bring both knees back to the center. Walk the feet in a little bit if they're not already. And then we're going to go in for a deeper twist here. So moving that left foot towards the center of your mat, we're going to cross that right leg over the left. And then we're going to bring both knees over towards the left. And you can go just as far as is comfortable. It might just be a couple of inches, or maybe a little bit deeper, whatever works for you. And then depending on how your neck feels, you can look the same direction as the feet went, or you can look the opposite. Inhale, bring them both back up, and then we're going to go to the other side. Knees towards the right, and just a couple inches or a little deeper if that feels okay. And then knees come back up. Let's go one more time each side. You can switch which way the head goes. You can go the same direction as the knees or the opposite, or simply stay looking up towards the sky. Knees come back up. Nice and slow. Legs or knees go to the other side. Head can go any of those directions. And then knees come up. We're going to uncross the knees and recross the opposite. Right foot on the mat, left leg crosses over the right. We're going to bring both knees over to the left again. Head can go same. Stay where it is or go opposite. Inhale to bring the knees back up. And then over towards the other side. Bring the knees back up. Let's do one more time each side. Knees come up. And then let's uncross the feet and bring the knees back up towards the chest. Love Appanasanas. And then if you have a block handy, we're going to come into a supported bridge. If you don't have a block, you can roll up a blanket or a towel, or maybe grab a pillow or a cushion or whatever you want, something that is not too high. And what we're going to do is bring the heels up near the buttocks and then lift the hips up and slide the blanket or block under. And then a couple things you can do here. You can stay right like this, if that's comfortable. Adjust anything that needs adjusting. And then I'm going to walk my feet out. So this is a bit of a back bend. So if you have issues or if you feel like you've done enough of those, keep the knees bent and feet in the floor. And then when you're ready, bring the feet back into the mat. And then to come out, we're going to push in with the feet and lift the hips. Slide whatever you had under there out. And then let's bring the knees back in again. Beautiful. Bring the feet back down to the mat and then extend both feet all the way straight up. And let's take a moment here to just check the breath. So one hand on the belly, one hand on the heart. And just noticing where the breath is. Beautiful. And then release. Bring the arms back down by your sides. Let's get any last little wiggles out. Relax the legs away from each other. Feet fall apart from each other. Palms can face down or face up. And then if you want, you can actually bring the arms out and away from the body a little bit. To relax the shoulders. Maybe tuck the shoulder blades under towards each other if that feels okay. Resting the head maybe on a blanket. The idea that the forehead is higher than the chin. And let's come into our relaxation pose, our Shavasana. So let's do a gentle walking down. Relax the toes. Relax the soles of the feet and the tops of the feet. Release the ankles. Relax the calves and shins. Release the knees. Relax the thighs. Let the pelvis be heavy and sink into the earth. Relax the abdomen. Release the rib cage and let go of breath. Let the shoulders be heavy and sink into the earth. Relax the upper arms, elbows, lower arms. Release the wrists. Relax the hands, fingers, and palms. Relax the throat and the back of the neck. Smooth the forehead and face. Let any last thoughts about the top of the crown of the head. Let the earth's gravity hold you. Let the air around you breathe you. Take the next few moments and just be. You're welcome to stay in your relaxation as long as you like. But when you're ready, bring your awareness back into the room. Bring your attention back to your breath. Maybe even put your hands on your lower rib cage here and take a breath or two before we move. Feel the effects of the diaphragm. When you're ready, and with an inhale, rolling over onto your right or left side. Use your arm as a pillow before you come up. Just take a moment to gather your breath, your body awareness. And then when you're ready, with an inhale, using that upper arm, pushing up to a comfortable seated position. And to bring breath back into the body and find us, well, you're probably already at home. All right, to find us back into the rest of our day, whatever's left of it. More rain here. Let's do a breath of joy. It's joyful that you have decided to join me for yoga, so I want to send that joy back to you. All right, so we'll start with our hands at the heart, and I also call this sun breath number 4. So either way, full of joy or full of sun. Let's go. Here we go. Inhale. Fingertips, exhale, hands come back to the heart. All right, 3 times. Here we go. Inhale. And exhale. Again, inhale. And exhale. One last time, inhale. And exhale. Beautiful. Excellent. Fabulous. Thank you so much for joining me. Have a beautiful rest of your day, and namaste.